the layout of the stadium. As we've already established, of course, I'm an expert orienteer, so I won't be needing this. Filthy. I'm not touching it. Might as well be eyeing up women back at Shen's. Call it intuition if you like, but I'm taking this towel. Nothing I can do with a pair of smelly trainers. The shoelaces, on the other hand, look absolutely essential. A sweaty blue jersey. Sweaty sports clothes. No thanks. This hook here seems to be loose. Got it. It's screwed on tight. Just needed a bit of leverage, that's all. The grate's off. Ah, it's the equipment room. A whole load of sporting equipment and measuring devices. Stopwatches, batons, several table tennis balls, and a measuring tape. Could be useful. I'm sure no one will miss these. A competition-sanctioned measuring tape. They're all locked. Two javelins and some hammer throwing and shot put equipment. The shelf's feet are screwed to the floor. That's some heavy-duty storage. The door outside's locked. It's a metal plate screwed into the side of the locker. If I can loosen the metal plate, maybe I can open this left-hand locker. I'll need to attack the screws though, and the coat hook's got a rounded end. The shelf's metal base is screwed tightly to the floor. I can't use the coat hook to loosen the screws yet. Maybe leaving it here will help. Somehow. I did kind of like it down there. But hey-ho. If I can loosen the metal plate, Maybe I can open this left-hand locker. I'll need to attack the screws though. And the coat hook's got a rounded end. I can't use the coat hook to loosen the screws. Yet. Maybe leaving it here will help. Somehow. Okay, it's all tied up. I'll just take one of these with me. Time to get to work. It worked. The end's now flattened out. Now that it's flat, this makes for a pretty decent screwdriver. Let's get this panel loose. Ta-da! I present to you the inside of a locker. A judge's uniform. I could use the sharp edge to cut the measuring tape and then alter it. Won't be long before Glenn discovers his inner champion. I sense... Yes, I rather sense a plan taking shape. I'll cut another 25 centimeters off the 1 meter piece. That's the exact length Glenn needs to beat his competitor's best distance. A bottle of cleaner. A bottle of cleaner. Not that I'm about to pay any heed to what a bottle tells me to do, but it says, removes even the most stubborn stains. Warning, do not use on plastic surfaces. Contains the solvent acetone. The cleaner contains acetone. According to the label, this solvent shouldn't come into contact with plastics. My destructive tendencies are encouraging me to do precisely that. Hence the table tennis balls. But if it melts plastic, I can only imagine what it does to human skin. I need a container of some kind. The bin looks pretty sturdy. Should be a good container for my little experiment. Wish I could say this was the first time I've done something like this. The solvent's dissolving the balls. All that's left is a sticky mush and a fierce stench. Smells a bit like thorn apple. I can probably glue this back onto the original tape. I guess the molten plastic will do the job. I'm going to need a better disguise. I can help Glenn better if I'm dressed as an official judge.
Lauri Askela is preparing for his jump. After 9 out of 10 contests, the Finnish athlete holds 3rd place in the decathlon. We'd like to ask for silence now, please. Askela's jump is valid as well. Now we're anxious to know the distance.
7:25.
7 meters and 25 centimeters.
We've just been informed of the distance. 7 meters and 25 centimeters. A sensational jump by the exceptional Finnish athlete. Can Erwin Huber and Glenn Parker keep up? There's a palpable atmosphere of suspense here in the stadium. In the overall rankings, Erwin Huber is in second place, just behind Glenn Parker of Great Britain. Given that the long jump is his forte, the German athlete now has a very strong chance of reaching for gold. Just a few more moments, and we'll know who will win the 1936 Olympic decathlon.
It really is about time I did something clever. Or at least vindictive. The spark set the flowers alight. Yes, that is where a torch is supposed to go, but then it would burn the cables above it. I'm not sure that's such a great idea. At least, not right now. These cables are hooked up to the lights and the microphone out in the stadium. I'll put the judge's uniform back on. This measuring tape is used to measure the distance of the long jump from the takeoff point to the nearest sand imprint. I'd say there's a fair chance the judges would want an explanation for why I need their measuring tape. I'm not entirely sure I've got one. Perfect. I'll glue the shortened piece back onto the original roll. Job done. I could switch the measuring tapes, but I wonder if the judges might have something to say about that. This cable powers the lights and things out on the track. The judge uses the microphone to relay the jumper's distance to the stadium announcer. Yes, that is where a torch is supposed to go, but then it would burn the cables above it. I'm not sure that's such a great idea. At least, not right now. I made a good job of it. The tape's short by a whole 25 centimeters. I'm sure they don't check these things that carefully. Okay, I've got the rigged measuring tape ready, but to make this work, I've got to smuggle it into the long jump area somehow.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now approaching the grand finale of the Olympic decathlon. In just a few moments, Erwin Huber of Germany will step up to compete. I'd like to ask for quiet from the stands so that the athletes can concentrate. An excellent effort. That was quite a jump. Could Erwin Huber have beaten his own record?
7:50.
7 meters and 50 centimeters.
7 meters and 50 centimeters. Fantastic! Erwin Huber has topped his own personal best. This will make it very, very difficult for Glenn Parker to defend his lead in the overall standings. Parker is heading to the track. In just a few minutes, his performance in the long jump will determine the gold medal decathlon winner.
I'm really running out of time here. I've got to swap the tape, but I'll struggle as long as those two judges are still standing over it. Good plan, Fenton. The fire gradually burns through the cables, then the lights on the long jump area go out, interrupting the event, and I'm long gone before anyone realizes what's happened. Let's be honest, that's the best bit. Let's get out of here.
Berlin is holding its collective breath. The final decision in the decathlon is rapidly approaching. Glenn Parker is warming up on the track for his decisive jump. I'd like to ask the spectators in the stands to remain quiet because... One moment. We seem to be experiencing technical difficulties in the long jump area.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
What's wrong?
What do you think is wrong? There's a complete power failure in this part of the stadium. Must be another problem with the cables. I'll go check. Come with me. I might need your help.
Shouldn't the technician take care of it?
Sure, in about 3 hours' time, we can't put the Olympic Games on hold. Can you keep an eye on things while we try to fix the problem?
But of course, just leave everything in my capable hands.
I've just been told that we're doing everything possible to fix the problem. Thank you for your patience. I'm sure the long jump contest will resume shortly.
The perfect time to swap the tapes.
Ladies and gentlemen, our technical problems have been solved. The judges are returning to their seats, and we can continue. The big question, though, is will the interruption have put Glenn Parker off his stride? I see that he's returning to his starting position. Any minute now, he'll be making his decisive jump. The jump is valid. But was it far enough? From here, it doesn't seem like he came anywhere near Erwin Huber. But what do the measurements say?
7:35.
7 meters and 35 centimeters.
7 meters and 35 centimeters! That puts him just behind Erwin Huber in this final event, but it's just enough for Glenn Parker of Great Britain to take the gold medal! His lead may have been minuscule, but that's a minor detail. Glenn Parker has won the 1936 Olympic decathlon. Erwin Huber will have to be satisfied with silver, and Lauri Askela of Finland has earned bronze. And that, ladies and gentlemen, marks the end of this year's decathlon.
I hope history will forgive me. I mean, I may have betrayed the centuries-old Olympic spirit and cheated a man out of his gold medal. But come on. I am here saving the world, so I'll finally be able to get into the museum. Countess von Hagenhild had better be there with what I need. Glenn had better have a spare dinner jacket as well.
Cheers, Glenn. I really owe you one.
No problem. Sure you don't fancy a drink to celebrate?
Believe you me, once I'm done on this job, I'll be holding a liquid celebration for a solid week. For now, I just need to find a way down into the lower levels.
Then I won't keep you. Maybe I'll see you at the next Sandhurst reunion.
Sure, if I get an invitation this year. What is it about smuggling they have such an issue with?
Heaven knows. Well, good luck with your search for Richard. It was great to see you again, Fenton.
Thanks, Glenn. You take care.
This display case contains equipment from an expedition to Tibet.
led by a certain Ernst Schaefer 2 years ago. A small movie camera and a few bits of clothing, along with some climbing equipment. This scarf could prove useful at some point. Ooh, almost got caught there. I'll just take the red... No, what the hell. I'll take the whole bloody thing with me. Why not? These people need to learn how to hold their bladders. We used to go 48 hours with our legs crossed in intensive training. Let's just close this whole area off. It's summer. No one really needs a beautiful scarf like this. A bottle of champagne and a glass. If the plonk were cheaper, it'd be the spit at my bedside table. What sort of people are these? Opening a bottle of bubbly and leaving it 3/4 full, honestly. This wouldn't last 5 seconds back at Shen's. There's a champagne cork in this glass. I'll have that, shall I? Collecting champagne corks isn't one of my hobbies, but I'll hold on to the little wire cap. Surprise. It's locked. The cupboard door is locked. It's a pretty basic lock. I should be able to get it open. This cupboard is full of cleaning supplies. I'll take a mop and... yes, why not? A jar of hydrochloric acid. The acid's eating through the lock.
I have been searching these exhibits for over 3 hours. Where's the Piri-Reis map?
As I told you, Countess, most of your research material was moved to Wewelsburg Castle last week.
I am personally affronted that you would exploit my absence in this way. You will regret this, Schauberger.
Maintain your composure, Countess. This decision was out of my hands. My research could be conducted at any of a number of sites throughout the country, and to be honest, I was far from thrilled about being moved to a laboratory in the center of the city.
The fact that I was not informed of this move remains absolutely unacceptable. Who gave the order?
It came from the very top, from the minister himself, or so I've heard.
The minister?
Are you surprised? I heard that some of your so-called brothers of the Order carry a great deal of weight with the minister, and they convinced him to move your research to the castle.
You should know that I'm by no means a member of the Thule Society. They merely pay me for my scientific expertise.
Whatever you say. In any case, your mysticism-loving friends apparently decided that this museum was no longer a suitable location for their club, and they presented the castle near Paderborn to the minister as a fitting alternative. He was so taken with the idea that the move was made immediately. Your exhibit items and documents were packed up and taken directly to Wewelsburg Castle. In return, my employees and I were forced to move from the pastoral Brandenburg countryside to the city so that the military command can keep a closer eye on our work.
How unfortunate. But the fact remains that one of the exhibit items, the Piri-Reis map, is absolutely vital to my research. I shall go to the Ministry to resolve the issue in person before setting out immediately for Paderborn. You there, battalion leader.
Yes, Frau Countess.
Guard this bag until I return from the Ministry. Its contents are extremely valuable. If necessary, you are to defend it with your life. Do I make myself clear?
Jawohl, Frau Countess.
That's got to be the Eye of the Dragon. Sounds like the Piri-Reis map, however, is now in some castle near Paderborn.
Countess von Hagenhild is gone. We can begin the test. All displays check out. Let's get started. Please set the power to the lowest level. We don't want things flying around the room. I am now activating the drive impulse. It would be best to hold on to something. So far, so good. Please cut the power supply now. Excellent. My friend, our new aircraft will soon make history. Let's check the conduits. Even the smallest leak during our next test could ruin everything.
Okay, this is my chance. I need to get my hands on the eye. A red metal box. Damn, the handle was loose. It broke off. I'll shove the handle between the lid and the frame of the display case. Give it a little jerk and... Open sesame. I'll just borrow a piton from the mountain climbing equipment. The movie camera looks like junk, and I'm not too keen on owning a pair of Ernst Schaefer's old woolen socks either. It's worth a try. Tying the scarf to the piton may open up brand new avenues of adventure. It won't reach the lever on the console. I'll use the scarf to tie the piton to the mop handle. If I'm careful, I should be able to use this to move the lever upwards without anyone noticing. Low setting or maximum power? I think I'm more a maximum power kind of guy. Nothing could be simpler. When I was a kid, I used to practice this at my parents' New Year's parties. Just give it a good shake, and then aim it like a K-98 rifle.
What's happening? Hold on to something!
What's going on out there?
You know, sometimes I can be really mean. Is the urge to laugh maniacally a bad side? hoping it'd be the Piri-Reis map or something. I'll tie the loose end to the railing. What should I do with the loose end? I can use the hose to make my way across to the office. I spy with my little eye. I'll take the eye and get the hell out of Berlin. I can use the fire hose again to get back into the museum. Then I'll have to travel to this Wewelsburg castle. Without the Piri-Reis map, the Eye of the Dragon is worthless. The map's the only way to find the second key to the gate to Shambhala.
What is it, Huxley?
Well, sir, a certain Mr. Kleist would like to speak with you. He showed up unannounced and is somewhat overbearing. Shall I send him away?
No, certainly not. Send him in.
You may stay seated, Governor. I have no wish to take up too much of your valuable time.
Then what is it I can do for you?
You have already done something for me. No additional soldiers were sent to Tibet.
Those were your conditions.
Indeed. But it seems that perhaps I need to explain those conditions a little more clearly. There was to be no interference from your side at all.
I don't understand.
Paddock, was it really necessary to set your dog on us? Does your son mean so little to you, Governor?
You promised to give me some sign that he's still alive.
All in good time. Pray instead that we can eliminate Paddock quickly. And I'm warning you for the last time. Stay out of this. Have a pleasant evening, sir.
Is there anything I can do for you, Governor?
I severely doubt it, Huxley.
Pardon me for asking, sir, but who was that gentleman?
That, Huxley, was the Devil's emissary. And I find myself involved with him.
How am I to understand that, sir?
It is probably best that you don't, Huxley. Just hope, as I do, that Fenton's mission will be a success. It may be all we have left.
What a very pleasant journey. A bite to eat in the restaurant car, a few bottles of Bavarian beer, and a good snooze. I need to get to Wewelsburg Castle as quickly as possible. I've still got a head start over the Countess, but I'll need it to find the Piri-Reis map before she gets here. The station guard must know the way. Good evening. Excuse me.
Good evening, sir. What brings you here so late in the day?
I'm a tourist, and rather than go to the Olympic Games or visit one of Germany's many outstanding cities with their bars and restaurants and women, I decided to visit the famous Wewelsburg Castle instead. I'm beginning to wonder why, but I'm stuck here now. Do you know the quickest way to get there?
I'm very sorry, sir. Wewelsburg Castle is closed to visitors right now.
You're kidding. No, you're really not, are you? I've endured quite a ride just to come see this bloody thing.
Oh, what a shame. But the castle has been under military control for some weeks now, sir. All of the access routes have been sealed off, and the guards are patrolling the castle surroundings.
Why exactly is that?
I find it better not to ask. Besides, I was only posted to this station a month ago.
This is stupid. What do I do now?
Well, You are not the first person to drop by wanting to visit the castle in the last couple of days. I'd advise you to wait for the next train. There's one going to Paderborn in 2 hours. I'm afraid there's not much you can do here to kill the time. The station building is closed due to renovations, hence why I am standing outside in this awful weather. You could, of course, take a walk to Brünn. It's not far away. There's a road leading directly into town from this crossroad. The guest house at the market should be open. You could warm up a bit and wait for the train there.
You know, I think I'll just enjoy some fresh air after the long train journey, even if it is raining cats and dogs. Is it okay if I wait here?
Of course, sir.
Thanks.
Damn, now what? The castle's right there. There's got to be another way in.